Today is move-in day for Laura. Families find that if the move into a new environment is perceived as temporary, the resident will be more relaxed and will transition smoother and faster. The next time Laura had a visit with a neurologist, the doctor told Laura that the reason so many things were confusing to her was that she had a problem with her memory and that he recommended Arden quartz to help her stimulate and exercise her brain. Laura did not agree with the doctor, but since she valued and trusted him, she agreed to do this and take his advice. To Laura, this was a temporary stay, and she was agreeable to the plans. Tom knew that it was necessary to adjust to Laura's world, as she could no longer totally understand reality. Just before 10 o'clock in the morning that first day, Tom called the center just before leaving the house. When Tom and Laura arrived at Arden Quartz, they were greeted by the Arden Quartz team, and Tom instantly felt relieved knowing he was not alone. The welcome team asked Laura to join them in the community center where the morning's activities were getting underway. Laura was introduced as a new guest and was helped to find a seat next to another resident that immediately befriended Laura. Laura was welcome to join the group activities until lunchtime, when she would be invited to a nice lunch. Laura enjoyed the morning, singing and being engaged in interesting activities, during which time Tom met with the nurse to review the doctor's orders and list of medications. Tom was assured that he would be called if needed, and when he left, knowing that his wife was in good hands, he felt comfortable. He was also reminded that he could call as often as he wanted to speak with the staff about how Laura was doing. When the morning programming ended, Laura's guardian angel came to meet Laura, explaining that she was Laura's personal assistant and would help her throughout the next few days, learning her way and answering any questions that Laura may have. The guardian angel took Laura on a tour of the core area, explaining what each area was for. Then they went out one of the 12 doors that leads outside and walked around the property, looking at the beautiful landscaping and the resting areas along the way. It was important for Laura to understand that she could go outside whenever she liked, unless it was nighttime or the weather did not permit. Laura felt the sense of freedom and independence at Arden Quartz that she needed. It had been necessary for Tom to restrict Laura's access outside when they were at home for obvious safety reasons. Laura and her companion arrived in time for her to be seated for lunch in the dining room of her house with the other residents there. The guardian angel introduced Laura to her table mates and also to the resident caregivers assigned to that house. The caregivers would be serving the meals to Laura and the other residents of her house. There are 3 shifts of caregivers in each of the 4 houses that assist the residents with all the activities of daily living, such as eating, bathing, dressing, toileting, and grooming. Residents are encouraged to be as independent as possible, thus promoting their self-esteem. However, the caregiver assists the residents with any help they may need. Planned meals are healthy and nutritious, and special meals for diet restrictions can also be accommodated. Dining at Arden Quartz is designed to be an enjoyable as well as supportive and social event. In addition to assisting residents directly, the caregivers also are supervising the residents and monitoring their whereabouts throughout the day to ensure the residents' safety. Arden Quartz takes a proactive approach to caregiving, which is in the best interest of the residents. After lunch, Laura was shown the rest of the house by her guardian angel. The home-like kitchen is always open, where Laura can help herself to healthy snacks and refreshments throughout the day or night. In the living room, Laura can relax in comfortable seating to watch television or visit with guests or other residents. The laundry room is centrally located in each house, where each resident's clothes are individually washed and dried. Then Laura was shown her own room where she would sleep or rest during her stay at Arden Quartz. Laura liked seeing her dolls on the shelf as it reminded her of home. She felt comfortable seeing her own clothes in the closet and knowing it was her private space. Then, Laura was introduced to the nurse who would be administering and managing her medications. Arden Courts provides nursing care to each resident as part of their customized service plan. The nurses take regular blood pressure checks and weight checks and coordinate care with the rest of the medical team. Each Arden Courts has an advisory primary care physician available that visits on a regular basis and is responsive to our nurses 24/7. Families can, however, choose to continue to use the resident's own internist. Other specialists are also available to offer consultation or treatment as needed. These may include psychiatry, podiatry, dermatology, as well as mobile lab and x-ray services. Laura was invited to join the other residents for an afternoon snack in the community center while they watched a musical DVD. Pet therapy was next, a fun activity for the residents who enjoy animals. Laura was happy petting and playing with the therapy dog. It reminded her of her own childhood pet. Then, Laura received a special invitation from the Program Services Coordinator to attend an ETT program. This engagement therapy program is trademarked by Arden Courts to provide specialized activities to small groups of residents based on their interests or hobbies and on their cognitive skill level. Today's ETT program was a baking class for the ladies and something Laura really related to. She enjoyed the camaraderie with the other 5 ladies in the group, talking about favorite foods while baking up a delicious treat. Mid-afternoon, Laura and the other residents had a fun trivia game about old Hollywood movie stars. Arden Courts boast a fail-free environment where everyone can be successful. Next was an indoor sit-down volleyball game, fun and exercise together. They ended the afternoon programming with a classical music presentation on the piano. Laura was then directed back to her house to get ready for dinner. The nurse came to the house and watched as Laura took her prescribed medication. After dinner, Laura was invited to join in that evening's activity, but she preferred to watch TV before bed, as that is what she always did at home. She settled into a comfortable chair in her living room to watch a favorite show. When Laura was ready to go to bed, the caregiver assisted her with changing into her pajamas and reminding her to brush her teeth. The caregiver made sure Laura was comfortable and tucked into bed, then opened the bathroom door so Laura would have direct sight of the toilet if need be during the night. Every hour throughout the night, the caregiver will check on Laura to make sure she is safe and comfortable and lending a hand to her if necessary. In the morning when Laura awoke, she was not sure where she was. When the caregivers reminded her that she was there by doctor's orders to work on her memory, she was accepting and reassured. Laura was assisted with taking her shower and getting ready for her first full day at Arden Courts. After breakfast, Laura was directed to the community center for the morning's activities. She had completed her first 24 hours at Arden Courts and was already adjusting very well to her new routine. The guardian angel kept a close eye on Laura throughout that first day so she could call Tom and report on Laura's activities. Tom was grateful for the time and attention that was given to Laura and to him on one of the hardest days of his life. He was relieved to hear that Laura had a good first day, largely in part because of the expertise of the staff at Arden Courts. Laura continued to transition a little more every day until Arden Courts felt like home to her, like she was part of an extended family. On average, 30 days is all it takes to create the residents' comfortable routine in their new environment, and many residents feel at home much sooner. Laura bonded with the staff and other residents and had a sense of belonging. Even though Laura lived in the moment, her moments added up to a quality of life that she would not have had if not for Arden Courts. Tom soon learned even more about the benefits of life at Arden Courts. It is not always easy to know the right thing to do. Tom knew that his decision to move Laura into Arden Courts was something that he was doing for her and not to her. He understood that Arden Courts could provide things for Laura that he could not, at least not on a continuous basis. Arden Courts gave Tom the one thing he desired most, the peace of mind gained from doing the best he could for his wife. It is no coincidence that according to the most recent National Customer Satisfaction Survey, 95% of families would recommend Arden Courts to others. We are proud of our mission at Arden Courts. We strive to be the #1 choice for Alzheimer's assisted living by providing a home-like, safe, and supportive setting that nurtures the individuality of memory-impaired people and gives their families peace of mind. Thank you for watching. Please contact us for a consultation or a personal tour. Or if you'd like more information or to visit an Arden Courts nearest you, you can visit us online at www.arden-courts.com. You can also call us on our toll-free number at 1-888-478-2410, and an Arden Courts professional will be very happy to assist you. Thank you again for visiting Arden Courts Memory Care Community. Memory care, it's all we do.